3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
It is the Valentine's Day hangover. So that means today is February 15th. What, Carla Marie?
Today steak and BJ day.
What?
Today is, don't want to do my whispering at the wrong level. It's steak and BJ day.
I don't think that's the day after Valentine's Day. I think it's in March.
March 15th?
I think it's also a fake day. But anyway, now that Carla Marie had to start us off on a dirty show within 13 seconds. Yeah, Court is correct. She says it's March 14th. Okay. Good morning to Fred the Mailman. Thank you to everyone who was hanging out with us while we were not playing trivia, but just playing that little intro video. And unfortunately for us today, if we keep the hype train going, because we have this streak that we've been doing now for over 2 weeks, I believe, where once we hit the hype train and get through hype train level 5, we normally take a shot. The last 2 shows, we've had some champagne. Yesterday, we had some chocolate-covered strawberries. Yep. Today, if you weren't here with us while the countdown was going on, Carla Marie decided, since we don't want to waste anything, we're going to be mixing 2 different types of vodkas. One is flavored and one is not.
Yeah.
And that's going to be our drink.
It'll be great.
I don't know if it's going to be great. And I like both vodkas.
You'll be fine.
It's Tito's and Deep Eddies, both from Texas.
I'm sorry. I went to Rutgers where we had to save all of our alcohol. You went to a private school where you bratty little kids at your private school could drink whatever you want and not save your alcohol.
Listen, there were definitely some rich people at Seton Hall. But actually, when I was at Seton Hall, we were ranked like one of the top 20 party schools in America.
Because you guys were rich enough to party.
Anyone's rich enough to party if they just are creative, I guess.
Seattle Cocktail Club said, come on, it's not like you don't have access to good stuff. So it's true.
Thank you, Seattle Cocktail Club.
Downstairs, we just have a lot of vodka and whiskey. I need some pre-mixed drinks. You know
we also do need to clear some space in the liquor rack. Yeah. Which is really just supposed to be a wine rack. A couple things I want to get to today once we are done with the hype train. I'm going to put up the... There we go. There's our screen with
I can't read it. What are we doing today?
I've got it. So, first thing we're going to talk about, are we now officially real-life models? We've got to talk about that. Should all men get manicures? And bad Valentines, Kanye and Anthony. And I will explain that. And if you saw the notification that went live this morning, the question was, what do Kanye West and Anthony have in common?
Okay.
So we will get into all of that.
I can't wait.
I know... Did the hype train not start? Because I feel like there's too many things that have happened for the hype train to not start yet.
Well, that's rude. Also, that transition thing is still happening.
Okay, well, let me take off the VHS transition.
Because there's literally this amount of...
But, okay, so this is one of my problems. And this is, in a weird way, something I learned with my protein shakes recently. Flavoring things is great. But oftentimes when you water down the flavor... it tastes terrible. And the reason I learned that with my protein shakes is I used to not pay attention to how much water you were supposed to use with a shake. And I'd put like 20 ounces when you're really only supposed to put 8. And it always tasted terrible. But when you put the appropriate amount of water, it has the right consistency and the right taste. So I think that Deep Eddies, as great as the grapefruit flavor is...
Okay. Well,
once you water it down with other vodka, it's not... Whoa, Unicorn, Cindy, and Robbie, and Everett, thank you very much for the 5 gifted Tier 1 subs each.
What the hell?
What, Carla Marie?
I think you just need to stop talking about it and just wait till it touches your lips.
That's always
all right,
good.
I think Oh, there we go.
All right.
We're already at level 3.
We went from nothing in the hype train to level... done with level 3 in the hype train. So thank you, everyone who has gotten us this far.
Behind?
What, Carla Marie?
We did get a message from one of the twins. Guys, I really apologize, Jen and Lisa, that I see a message from one of you and all I remember at this point is the last name, saying how yesterday's show, truly there was like no lag. In that, like when we said things, it was just kind of happening right away. There wasn't like we would mention something and there would be like a 10, 20-second delay with the chat.
Yeah, we're on the information highway now.
Maybe we should bring back the game.
Oh, let's see. Christian Nicole said it says level 5 is complete now. Oh, there we go. Okay. So thank you to Dave C. Thank you to Jen and Lisa. Thank you to Audrey, the only G. Z from NYC.
Maybe it was the internet.
everyone who has helped us get to this level, and unfortunately now to the mixed drink that Carla Marie has made. You know what I just realized? I think people like to see us getting tortured.
Yeah.
Because this hype train went very quickly when...
Oh, should I?
Yeah, just dump the whole thing. When people realize they don't want to be drinking what we're about to drink.
Okay. Apparently, Froggy and Elvis were talking about me on the show today.
Oh, yeah? About what?
Because they played a Fall Out Boy song.
Mm.
And Froggy mentioned how he got Pete Wentz to kiss me on the cheek on stage at Jingle Ball Miami.
Yeah, there was a... What's it called? Mistletoe, right?
Man, I'll tell you what. That's why his wife hates me.
Wendy in Virginia said, please bring back a game. You know what, Wendy? On Thursday, I promise you, I'm going to make a little note. We will have a game. That is something we've wanted to bring back, is playing a quick little game every morning.
Becky said, FYI, people that use Cash App, there's a Twitch booster, and you get 50% off one purchase. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't even know what any of that stuff means. Is there ice in there?
Yes,
Okay.
a big chunk.
You used one block of ice?
One big guy.
Why don't you just use regular ice?
Because I don't want to waste them, and they have to go in the bag still. I might have to...
Oh, Incoherent was a fun game. And that's something that everyone else can play along with, too.
Lisa said, we also bought a new cable modem router this morning. Every time the phone rings, the internet goes out. Is that normal? Yeah, if it's 1995. Also, I'm not wearing any makeup today, and no one said anything about it.
What are people supposed to say?
No, that's good. I don't have to wear makeup ever.
You wanted everyone to be like, oh, you look like trash today.
Yeah, well, like...
I mean, you're also wearing glasses to cover a lot of your face.
On purpose.
All right, we'll definitely bring back games. There's a whole cabinet full of games to my left.
Madison, read that comment.
Madison said, good morning, watching to hopefully calm down. Write my interview later. What's your interview?
Oh, right. I thought it said letter.
All right, I think I read that properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, they can't hear me.
I mean, they can't hear you. Nothing changed. Where'd you see that?
Tori said I can't really hear CM, but I can hear Anthony really well.
Okay. I just turned Carla Marie's. Yeah, everyone else can hear you. You may have just been in that moment talking away from the microphone. Are we ready, Carla Marie? All right. Cheers to everyone who helped us get through the hype train. Cheers to you, Carla Marie. And to the bartender. Don't do that. That was not good. What, Carla Marie?
I'll be honest. Wait a second. I was going to say I like it better, but never mind.
Continue.
No, I need a second.
I thought it was good.
I think that D. Betty and Tito should join together.
They should collab?
Where do they live?
They're the same. They're
Austin.
basically the same vodka.
Austin.
Yeah,
they definitely know each other.
I believe they're both 6 times distilled, and they're both in Austin. I think they actually hate each other now that I think about it. They're probably big time.
How do you know how many times distilled?
Isn't that like the whole thing? They're 6 times distilled or something like that. Anyway. What were you going to say? You got real excited about a message in the chat, and then we're going to move on to...
Madison is interviewing to be a flight attendant with American Airlines.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, good luck with that. Let us know how it goes. Come back on Thursday and let us know how your interview went. So, we did hit the hype train streak, so we are going to continue going with that. I'll have a number for us on Thursday as to how long I think we've gone. What else do we have here? Oh, are we real-life models is the first thing on the list. Then should all men get manis? And then this is something I'm going to need a little help on. Bad Valentines, and Carla Marie actually admitted that she was a bad Valentine yesterday because you admitted yesterday that you have been a bad Valentine.
Okay, thank you.
Rephrase that. When you broke up with your boyfriend, in high school?
Yes.
On Valentine's Day. So that's a good example of being a bad Valentine.
Correct.
Right? I have a story, and we're going to talk about what Kanye West did yesterday, whether he was a good or bad Valentine for Kim Kardashian.
They're not together.
Sometimes, you know what, though? If this was a rom-com, right? In rom-coms, don't people, like, barge into the church and go like, no, you can't marry that man. I love you.
Oh, so we're in old Britain times, apparently.
It was a Hugh, what's his name?
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant movie. I don't know. I just made that up.
My best friend's wedding?
I don't know. I was just trying to do some stupid accent. Anyway, what Kanye did yesterday in a rom-com, people would be like, oh my God, that's so cute. He loves her so much.
This isn't a rom-com.
But life is not a rom-com, and he looks like a crazy person more.
We should write a movie called Life is Not a Rom-Com. I feel like that's actually like a Newfound Glory song.
Yeah. What else do we have here? Okay, so we are going to get into that. Now, remember, when we get to the bad Valentine, I'm going to need your help because I'm sure there are some bad Valentines here in the chat. What, Carla Marie?
What is happening on those lights on the TV?
It's going with our voices. So watch. Don't say anything. Now talk.
But why does it change colors?
It just does that. That's what it does. Let's see. I just saw something. Need some good vibes. Where did that go? It was a message. And I want to make sure we are sending out good vibes.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Carla Marie.
Sorry, y'all, but can I get some good vibes today? My gram gets test results to make sure that her cancer didn't come back and spread to her bones.
Well, we are all wishing you.
Yes.
If everyone can throw some hearts in the chat, we are all wishing you the absolute best. So let us know how that goes.
Can you make that stop?
Yeah, but I have to get up to do that.
Oh.
So you can explain why we might be real life models, and I'll stop that.
Okay. So the reason I'm not wearing makeup at the moment is because right after the show, I need to do like a full face of like hardcore TV makeup. And today we are shooting at a model home in Washington for a light switch company called Deco. It's not like consumer based. So like this isn't a commercial. You can't buy them. Whatever. We're legit actually like modeling.
Yeah. So one of the things that's interesting is sometimes people will ask us to take pictures because we have a large social following. What?
Take pictures.
They're like modeling pictures and stuff like that. We have a pretty large following. Obviously, we have an amazing community. Just you can see by the hearts in the chat right now. We have an amazing community of people with us. So that's oftentimes the reason we are asked to do things, right? Like back in the day when I used to take pictures for the Roosevelts, I think they knew like, oh, well, back when they were like just starting, oh, Anthony has a good following if he takes pictures.
Yeah, but you're a model. You're a former model.
I am
You're a pretty good looking dude.
former model. Who else have we modeled for? Oh,
From the Ground Up Socks.
From the Ground Up Socks. That was very recent. We put those pictures up last week. And Alaire in West Seattle.
All the time.
We've taken pictures for them. I'm trying to think of other things that we've done. But oftentimes it's very good friends, and it's because we have a little bit of a community that we've built.
Yes.
This is not that.
And we're total hams.
What do you mean?
Like, we're like, yeah, I'll take a photo.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Like, I love taking pictures because then
So-
I can use them for content and
But
things.
today is like a real modeling thing. Like this has nothing.
Hams.
Oh, Hams as well. Thank you very much for the mailman. So this has nothing to do with our social media. We're not supposed to share this. We're not even supposed to tell people to go buy the product.
Yeah, like, you can't.
Mainly because it's not a consumer. They do have a consumer line, but it's not a consumer-driven product. It's more of a B2B type thing.
So, yeah, like construction, not companies, builders, home builders. Like if you were a home builder, yeah, we could sell to you. So home builders decide, okay, yeah, I want to work with this light switch company and install them in the home. And they are smart switches. So essentially, like we are going to show how these smart switches work in our home, which we are getting them installed in our home as part of being able to do the shoot for them. And I'm so excited.
One of the perks.
But you can't do that. So sorry. But
and I'm sure there's a way to do it. It's just not what their business model is based on. Like, yes, you could get the same exact switches built in your home or installed in your home, but that's not what their business model is predicated on.
So the whole idea is that you get your home that's just been built and you have these smart switches that will connect to an app, your Google Home, Alexa, and you can automatically add like a dimmer switch to it. So like you can do it in the app, but you can also physically touch your light switch and do it. And you can also replace, like the whole thing is like, if I decide I don't want, or I want to add a dimmer switch because I'm automatically one of their customers, I myself can replace the plate and not have to worry about getting electrocuted or hiring an electrician. I feel like I'm practicing for today.
But I was about to tell you, none of this matters.
I'm
you
practicing
gotta calm down.
the script.
You got to calm down. None of this actually matters right now. All right, we're not going to give you any more details about the product. And that's the whole, hold on. And the whole point is we're being paid just to be there, to model, to speak, and not actually use our platform, our show, our social media. So I think this means we're actually models.
Yeah.
And we're getting paid for the record.
Mm-hmm.
This is a paid thing.
Yeah.
It's not charity.
No.
So we are actually models.
Yeah.
And this is a good question from Jordy Matthew. No, who was it? I just saw it a second
Lenny?
ago.
No,
Audrey said, that's insane. How did you get the opportunity? So
So crazy, actually.
through social media, we know the person who is in charge of marketing for this company.
Mm-hmm.
And she reached out and said, hey, we need people who are comfortable talking in front of a camera and demonstrating some things. Would you guys do it? And we said, absolutely.
But we have to shoot like all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a script. And we don't do well with our
Oh, this is a great question from Megadamia. She said, if you're speaking, does that make you actors?
So that's the thing. Like, we are acting as a couple. Like, we're acting as ourselves, right? I'm not like Jan and he's Bob. Like,
I'd love to change my name.
we are Carla Marie Anthony. We do host a podcast and stream, like, in this world, in this home that we live in, this model home. And we are basically telling homeowners that just got their new home what they can do with their light switches.
We're like the tutorial video.
Basically.
Yeah.
And
Videos.
yeah, there are several videos that we'll be filming. And yeah, we literally got like a little alert that was like, here's your call sheet for today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping this opens doors because I want to be in like a Vidal Sassoon commercial. What is the one where they moan in the shower?
Garnier.
No.
Wasn't it? I'm
Herbal,
pretty sure.
herbal
essences?
Fructis.
No, Fructis is Garnier. Right? Isn't it Garnier
I
Fructis?
just combined two.
Herbal Essence. Herbal Essences or Herbal Essence?
It's Herbal Essence, Garnier Fructis. I just said, what did I say? Herbal Fructis.
Herbal Fructis? I don't know. Let's see. Angela in Spokane said, don't forget us little EMH people when you're rich and famous. Listen, when we're on the cover of JCPenney, I promise.
Cover what?
their catalog.
Do they have one still?
I don't know. We promise we'll bring you all with us.
Yeah.
It's going to be a group shot on the front of... And you know what? One day, is JCPenney still a company or have they completely like...
No, they're a thing.
They're a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. One day
My
when
first
we're
commercial.
a huge show and JCPenney's like, we want to advertise with you. We're going to do an open call to all the EMHs out there and say, hey, we're going to be on the cover of JCPenney on this day, at this time, at this location. You're all welcome to be in the photo shoot with us.
They were one of, if not my first ever radio commercial. But here's why it's so different than like a normal person getting to do their first ever radio commercial. For some reason, they wanted me to do the commercials live with Elvis. So it wasn't even pre-recorded.
Oh, wow.
And I was still like a phone op, like old studio setup at this point. And they were like, okay, when like the commercial, right as we're about to take commercial break, you have to jump in the studio and do the commercials live with Elvis. I had no business.
Doing a live read for your first commercials is pretty tough, especially when you're that like new in the industry.
With Elvis Duran.
Yeah.
So I had to jump in the studio and I'm like, and we had like so many rules. Like you couldn't say, I don't think we could say JCP. Can't say pennies. And you can't say JC pennies. Like,
yeah.
it's
Well, that's
JC
branding, obviously.
Yeah. And it was like all these things that like we couldn't say. And we were talking, it was like weeks and weeks of a promotion. I was like,
You know what we found out? This is a very specific radio thing. Two things I'm going to get to real quick. Ricky said, I fucking hate live reads. I'm going to explain something in a second, Ricky. And secondly, I want to say it was Sarah who asked, Sarah Beth said, what's an EMH? An EMH is an every morning homie.
Oh.
And that's something that we started when we had our own morning show, which we still do technically.
I guess we do.
Our own radio morning show. It was, the criteria was people that hung out with us 4 out of 5 days of the week.
No, we said we weren't
said
that strict.
4 out of 5 days of the week. You didn't have to be with us every morning to be an every morning homie.
So
there was
now
a
what
little
is it?
wiggle room.
2 out of 3?
I guess 2 out of 3 days would make you an EMH. 2/3 is pretty good.
And if we add a show to Twitch, then you have to be.
Then you've got to be here 3 out of 4. You get 1 day off.
Yeah, if we're adding a day, you have to add a day.
But to go back to live reads, so the interesting thing, and I always talk about the differences between New York radio and Seattle radio. And this is more into like the sales world of things. But just so you know, the way that radio ads are sold, there's different levels to the ads, right? If you're the first ad that someone hears after a talk break,
First and stop set, it's called.
it's going to be a more expensive spot. If it's a live read, that's another fee that they basically tack on because the company and the host make a little more money. The thing that was so weird moving to Seattle was they would sell things as like live reads and whatnot. And we were in the New York model where it's like, oh, okay, well, if it's a live read, we have to do it live that day every time that it's scheduled.
The definitions did not transfer.
Meanwhile, we found out after we were doing all the harder work that the sales team, when they sold live reads, it actually didn't mean that it was live. It was this weird thing where it was really a regular commercial that was just
supposed to sound natural. And I'm like,
but that's what that's what they kept saying. They're like, no, you don't have to do a live commercial. It just has to sound like it's like you really like the thing.
And I'm like,
it's like, that's what our commercials are supposed to sound like because they're supposed to be products that we've used and actually enjoy.
Yeah.
It was a weird world. And really companies were just getting ripped off because they were paying an extra fee for something that wasn't live, wasn't updated regularly, didn't matter.
The most bizarre thing about coming to being in our position, right? It was like we had learned so much from the absolute best you could learn in radio. So we essentially, and I'm going to sound like a fucking asshole when I say that, and I don't care. We essentially came out to Seattle and knew more than almost anyone out here when it came to how to properly run a radio morning show. However, we had never physically practiced it ourselves. So it was like learning everything you could about speed skating and then getting on the ice for the first time.
No, I think it was more like we actually played for the New York Yankees, and then we were sent out to go play for like a AAA team. So we knew all the things.
But we had never actually swung the bat.
Yeah, maybe we were bench players on the New York Yankees.
That's what I mean. Like,
so we knew how all the good things are supposed to happen and how you win championships and whatnot. And then they sent us to a AAA team that had like, I don't know, the coach's mother-in-law bringing in oranges to supply for the team. It was real weird.
It was such a weird situation to be in. But here we are.
I love what It's Lisa L said. She said, I have to go to the office next week. I'll be scheduling a meeting during this time so I can watch.
Love it.
Well, it is a meeting. You're meeting with us. Next thing on the list. So we talked about whether or not we are real-life models. It looks like we're real-life actors and actresses.
Yeah, we're not modeling. We are, like, we have a script. And although they said you don't have to, like, follow the script as long as you get the point across, because I'm like, good, because we don't read well. So
I don't read too good.
And then they were like, what do you want for lunch? Like, they're feeding us on set.
They asked about our dietary restrictions. They're going to be real mad, though, if I have to do, like, light switch acting, right?
Wait, are we getting, this is manicure?
Because I got this bruise. Was this a bruise or is it blood in there? I don't know.
Does that hurt?
On my nail.
Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't hurt. Why, were you about to squeeze it?
A little bit, but I think it means it's blood then. I don't know.
I don't know. And that brings us.
How'd you do that?
Oh, how did I do this? Right when we got back to Seattle, I believe it was the first day I was back in the gym after the new year. I was doing a new exercise where I have to be face down on the bench, but it's angled up, and I was trying to get the weights adjusted properly in my hand. And there's a little knob that's on the back of the bench, the adjustable benches. Normally, it has a little rubber stopper on it. This one didn't, but so as I was like re-gripping the weight, my hand came down between the weight that I had, the 20-pound dumbbell, and the knob, and just it was metal on metal, got stuck right in there. So that's that. But what?
Oh, I did see a great question from Robbie and Everett. She said, "Will you get your SAG card?" So funny enough,
we actually technically have them.
We
right?
have SAG-AFTRA cards, which is the Screen Actors Guild, and then
AFTRA. I don't even know what AFTRA
stands for. It's like American
for.
Film, Radio, Television.
Maybe
because they combined. We both were in that union. Same union as Jennifer Aniston, Jason Sudeikis, like all these famous people when we were in New York. But Seattle, at least radio, is not a unioned city.
And even
in
New York,
how it works for this because this isn't TV. We're not doing this for TV.
Even in New York, not every radio station was part of the union. Like Z100 was part of the union, so if you wanted to be on air there, you had to be part of the union. Whereas KTU, the sister station, was not. Meanwhile, here in Seattle, I don't believe any of the radio stations are union.
No. It's Screen Actors Guild, and then so SAG and AFTRA. This is like really into the weeds, but AFTRA was the original union for TV and radio. SAG was movies, but then they combined at one point while we were in the union, and it's Screen Actors Guild, and then I believe it's American Film, Radio, Television.
And actually, I still have. I don't know if they're up there, but for a while we would get the Screen Actors Guild. Movie screeners,
yeah.
and they would have like a watermark that would go across the top the whole time.
And every person, like if I sold mine or gave it away and I got caught, they would know and they would kick me out.
But again, we're not going to be joining that. I don't think or rejoining or renewing our memberships anytime
no, it's
soon.
paused. But Anthony,
yes,
went and got a manicure.
Well, part of it was I figured my hand was gross enough as it was with this thing, and then I got like real self-conscious, and I thought, well, if I have to like hit buttons all day.
Let me see them. You didn't even show me.
Yeah, they're shinier than I thought they'd be. I did not ask for shine.
Why didn't you? Okay, well, that's what happens when they clean them.
Well, that's the thing. They like buffed it out. But I'm a big fan. I don't know if I would do it a lot, but I do my pedicure like pretty often, or I get a pedicure pretty often.
Why are you a big fan of having a manicure?
They just look very clean. Like the cuticles are all cleaned up. The little like hangnails are all chopped off.
It's so different.
And I guess I don't really take very good care of my hands. Bless you. I guess I don't really take very good care of my hands to begin with.
It's like getting a haircut.
Yeah.
Truly, like you feel good after it. But also, like I got my manicure on Sunday. We went to the same place, but not together. But I think it is like that. Like, this is what I don't love getting my nails painted because I hate sitting there, but it is important because, like, that's what people look at. So even if you don't get them painted, like, just cleaning them and cutting them and filing them, like, to show that, like, I care about myself is kind of important.
So, interestingly enough, you may know this, you may not. My two cousins, Greg and Habib, they run a company called Young Nails. And Created by Cooper is in here. So, Created by Cooper knows them.
Yeah, Created by Cooper actually found our stream by watching theirs.
So, this is, when you look back at your life and there's like these little meaningless moments that end up sticking with you like forever. Yeah. I must have been in middle school and Greg and Habib were visiting from California. And I think they had just started working, both of them had just started working for their mom's company, Young Nails.
How old would they have been?
Out of college.
Okay.
Like just out of college. And I remember being like a punk middle school guy. One of them, Greg or Habib, was talking about manicures.
You were probably such a jerk.
And I probably said something like, "Oh, what kind of loser gets a manicure?" And this stuck with me like forever. Greg and Habib explained to me that the first things people notice when they meet a stranger are typically your nails and your shoes.
Oh, and your teeth.
Your nails and your shoes are the things that people normally notice, and that's like the takeaway. So I've done the shoe game, I think, or the sneaker game at least pretty well.
Yeah.
And now maybe I just need to upgrade the hand game.
How much was that? Just getting them clipped?
$30 and a $5 tip.
But mine was $35 and I got them painted. Gel.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I think there's like an upcharge for men.
Because you got bigger hands?
Yeah. My niece is in cosmetology school right now in New Jersey. And first of all, they don't really teach nails in that school that often.
So who teaches nails? I mean, I know Young Nails actually does have classes.
Yeah, so I got my niece a bunch of stuff from Young Nails, and she says it's by far the best products that she uses out of all the name brand nail companies that we know. And she's like, all of her classmates are like, "Oh my God, you have all that stuff. I love them. They're my favorite nail company." She's like, so "Yeah, cool. My aunt knows them." And then they're like, "Oh my God, what?" And so I had her FaceTime Anthony's cousin Habib while she was doing my nails one day, and she was talking to him about how like they don't really have classes, and he was like, "Whatever you need, like I'm happy to help you." It was really, really cool. And like as someone who geeks out about their own industry and having a passion, it was cool seeing her kind of get that moment. It was fun.
So then Created by Cooper, and anyone can really jump in on this because I'm sure a lot of people have gotten manicures. How much should a regular manicure be if I'm not getting a color or a gel or a whatever else?
Yeah.
I did think for a moment, I was like, I wonder if they have a color that would look like my nail.
I might have one.
And I could just paint that over my bruise or blood or whatever this is in my nail from the gym. right? Like, would that
Or
could work
we paint them all black.
for when we were young fest?
Are you
I think I'm
do
gonna
it?
go black.
Are you gonna do
A
it?
matte black nail polish. I think so.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go shiny.
All right. I can deal with that. But I'm gonna do it, right?
All right. So everyone's saying $25 to $30 sounds right.
But am
What's
I
it-
gonna paint them?
Sure. I don't know.
We'll do a live stream with Young Nails
And
combined.
to paint it black though,
Yeah. They'll
feel
give
like
me tips.
they're
I've
way more
never,
creative.
because boys have different shaped nails than girls.
What?
Your nails are shaped differently. Your nail beds are like stumpier little dudes.
I guess. I mean, mine are. I don't know if that's like.
No,
I
all
also think I have nice nail. I think. Okay, not this hand. I think this hand. It's a good hand. A
So
little hairier than most.
earlier when you had mentioned that we're going to talk about manis, Court had said she wants nothing more than her husband to do like a mani-pedi couples massage with her.
I think every guy in America and they live in Florida, so this is different. Every guy in America, before you go on a beach vacation, get a pedicure.
It's disgusting.
It's for you. It's for the people around you. Your feet are gross. My feet are gross. All feet are gross. Get the pedicure. Right? That's just my public service announcement for today. I also think maybe on like a quarterly seasonal basis, go get a manicure.
But I feel like manicure you should do more often then.
You should. Getting a guy to go often.
I'm curious to see how
don't know
long
if
this
it's
like
gonna happen.
lasts you.
What do you
Because
mean
like for
last?
me, this will last like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I don't have a color that has to
Right,
grow
that's
out.
what I'm saying. I'm curious to see what your nails look like in a week or so.
I don't know.
Did they use tools on you or just file a buff? Like what did they do?
Yeah, they used
I sound like I said
they
Shia
used
LaBeouf.
a bunch of like little lotions and things to get the cuticles to like loosen up, like little potions, you know. There was like a spray potion.
A dropper?
There was a dropper potion. There was a spray potion, and then there was a brush-on potion, and they used all those potions.
Wait, they brought this, so they painted your nails clear.
No, because they brushed something and then they scraped stuff off of it. And then they used a
You should go work with numb nail.
thumbnails.
No,
You just call
I
my-
said numb nails.
Oh.
You should go work with Young Nails. Brain fart. And invent an Anthony line. Everything's called a potion.
Yeah, they should. It'll come out at around Halloween.
He said potions like it's witchcraft.
So they used all those potions, and then they used the pusher. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm gonna start calling everything I use for beauty a potion.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, we need to invent this. Is this invented? This is gonna be our thing.
Okay, so then
You
they
look
used,
great, potion.
They used the pusher,
Yes.
the big metal rod that
Cute.
they just.
Okay, this sounds not enticing to anyone who's never got a
No, it's fine. And then once they got the metal rod down, they used the pincher. You know, the little, it's like a baby scissor, but not really.
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah, they used that to like pick
I
out
could
all
do
the
yours.
excess.
I could do yours.
Then they used a file.
Yep.
And keep in mind, I thought that I was going to be getting a manicure going into yesterday for the past like week.
Yeah.
So my nails were actually a little
They were
longer
really
than
long.
they had been or have been. And then they used a file. And then they used a brick looking thing. It was like a soft brick. And they went to the top of the nail.
Buffer.
Yeah. It's a soft brick. It's the shape of a brick.
Okay, a rectangular, a long brick.
No, it was a stumpy brick.
No, it's not a stumpy brick.
It was like a bar of soap.
No,
That's what it looked like.
it's a rectangle but thick. Like
It was, if you took a bar of soap, not Irish Spring because it's got a lot of curves on Irish Spring.
Please let me go.
If you get, yeah, go grab it.
Actually, I don't.
Do we have one of those?
I hate getting up on days that I actually
Why-
didn't put on normal pants.
It looked like a brick. It was a soft brick. And then they took that and they like buffed out my nail. And I think that was really it. I don't know what Carla Marie, I guess she has one. Is it? No, it's not a loofah. I think she just yelled, "No, I don't." Let's see. Created by Cooper says, longer rectangle buffer is what that is. It's a type of file, smooths out the nail. Yeah. But it was like kind of stumpy. What? Bringing your arts and crafts kit?
I used to have one, but because the Young Nail, this has a buffer on it.
Okay,
so
that's not what they used.
I know, but I know what you're talking about.
It's
Look.
like,
We could do that on your nail.
I mean, it kind of looks like it could work.
They use this.
Yeah, that's the pincher. What is this thing called?
Cuticle cutter.
It looks like a pincher to me.
I love Anthony ant-splaining a buffer.
Yeah. All right, here, take this back. I don't know why this is here. So, it looks like most of the chat believes that all men should get manicures.
Manny Mondays.
Manny Mondays. Do you remember that on Power 93.3?
Oh my God, we used to give away free manicures.
That was one of the best promotions we had ever done. We linked up with
Apollo
it was Apollo Nails.
Getting my nails done.
And every Monday, we would give away a total of like 7 manicures. Every 15 minutes, there was a different manicure package given away. Every single Monday for the summer, and it was awesome. Manny Mondays became like a real thing. And then the sales team went in, they're like, well, Apollo Nails isn't paying for this. And we were like, yeah, but they've literally given away over 100 manicures already. There's value in that. And the sales team was like, no, they've got to pay us $1 million or we're not working with them. Me. And that was it.
Yeah.
And then they killed it.
It would have saved us.
It was so good.
It was.
And
Well, I mean, we could do it.
And the reason that it worked really well, and this is like inside radio stuff again, is generally speaking. We did it every, how often? It was like every 30 minutes. Every 15 or 20. So maybe it was 3 an hour, and we would start it. We were also commercial free at that time. So it was meant to keep people listening for those 15-minute occasions. But anyway, one of the inside radio things is that normally radio listening is the lowest on Monday and the highest on Friday, according to some really old research. That's probably different now. And what we tried to do is say, okay, well, let's give people a reason to listen and keep listening specifically on Monday, because if we can raise the Monday numbers,
then we win.
Then the rest of the week also goes up. And it worked. It actually worked. And then the sales team came in and was like, no, shut it down. They came in like John Taffer, but with like an annoying voice, not that gravelly voice that John Taffer has. They went, shut it down. Me. You can't do that.
Yeah, that was fun.
And now all the radio stations in America are going to be doing it. It's just the way it's going to work.
So Vicky said, this is reminding me of those TikToks I've seen of women asking their husband or boyfriend if they know how tampons work. So what I'm going to start doing is filming you with like different like female products of any kind, or normally female products, and be like, Anthony, can you explain to me what this is for?
Oh, like you just hand me something
Like,
and I've got to, okay.
Be like, what is this for? Out of context.
That's for clipping little nail thingies.
Well, now you know.
No, I knew that before. It was like if you have a hangnail, you use that, right? That's what I use it for. Ah, this is a foot scrubber. This is the foot grater.
It's not a grater. That's just, I don't have a grater.
I don't know. You ever see my foot after a pedicure? Grated cheese.
There is. This is disgusting. It's morning. We need to do our.
Oh, the baby foot thing.
Baby foot thing. You put your feet in like this bag of, I don't know, chemicals, and then your foot skin falls off in a week.
Liz from Connecticut said, didn't Anthony use vaginal soap for his face before?
Yep.
And the answer is yes.
That was over a year ago.
Yeah.
People remember, man. Can't forget that. What is this?
This specifically is a brush for Caroline the cat. That's what this specific brush is for.
And me.
Generally, you use the same brush?
Yeah, it's my hair and Caroline's hair.
That's weird. You
She's
know
clean.
that, right?
I know, but I don't care. Every morning, that bitch wakes me up and screams at me and bites my hand until I brush her.
But why don't you just keep that brush for her?
Okay, because the Beach Waver hasn't come out with this brush in a while. Like, they don't have it anymore. And this is what I need for my hair, and it's the only one she likes.
I've got to believe that Sarah Patempa, the woman you know who owns the Beach Waver company and created it, has one of these laying around somewhere, and she can send it to you.
I only have a mini version.
You know her.
Do you want to see how much Caroline loves getting brushed with that?
No. We're not doing that right now.
No, he says that, but I have a video of him.
Yeah, I brushed her with
camera brushing. I do have a mini one I could use on her.
I just don't need to see that right now.
She loves it.
So, all right, put that back. And thank you. It is weird.
She's not dirty.
It doesn't matter. It's cat. Like, you should have. I'm fine with the cat having a brush. You should just have your own brush. You should have a higher bar for yourself.
No, that is the highest bar.
Than to be sharing beauty products with an animal that you picked up off the street one day.
What? I didn't pick her up off the street.
Someone did.
Got her from Motley Zoo.
All right. Next up, and this is where I'm going to need help from everyone because it's our last big thing to talk about today. I know we've got about 10 to 15 minutes left in the show.
Then we got to get pretty.
Bad Valentines. So yesterday, Kanye West made the news again. There's basically two things that Kanye is going to make the news for a while. One is his beef with Billie Eilish and whether or not he's going to actually pull out of Coachella unless she apologizes. The second thing is his ongoing drama with his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, and her current boyfriend, Pete Davidson. Which, when you just look at Pete Davidson, you think, man, how is that guy getting under Kanye West's skin?
Well, and that's the thing. I think that's how. Kanye knows that guy is with his ex-wife, and that is what is making him enraged.
And you know, obviously there's a real sad part of it, which is the kids that are involved in this public drama, right? This public dispute.
And Kanye does have mental health issues. But I also think he's also an asshole.
From a music perspective, though, the sad part is Kanye's music, by and large, is really good. Like a couple of his songs came on my playlist yesterday when I was working out, and I just kept thinking, man, Kanye West used to really like run the world of music.
Yeah,
as a producer, as a rapper, he's just so damn good. And then his ego just kept getting bigger and bigger. And the weird thing is, Kanye West in person, almost across the board, when you talk to people who have sat down with him and seen him like behind the scenes when he's off, like when he's not performing basically and trying to get attention, really nice guy. He's just...
So was Kim, though.
He needs a crazy amount of attention to sustain his ego.
Yes. And also, Shanna did point out, like, Pete Davidson also has mental health issues. So this is just like a...
Yeah, Kim's really surrounding herself with some interesting people, to say the very least.
But I feel like females love Pete Davidson and men don't for some reason.
No, I love Pete Davidson.
Because he's like Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah, I love Pete Davidson.
I think he's hilarious. I think his special is hilarious. I'm attracted to him somehow.
I think Pete, the thing that people like, there are two types of men I think in the world. There are the men who hate Pete Davidson, and there are the men who love Pete Davidson. The men who love Pete Davidson love him because we feel like he gives everyone a chance.
Yes.
Right? It's kind of like back in the day when Mark Anthony got J-Lo. Because Mark Anthony has looked like he's been on death's doorstep for like 30 years.
How?
He just doesn't look like a healthy human. But he was able to pull Jennifer Lopez, one of the most beautiful women in the world. Pete's kind of done the same thing. Pete looks like he just came out of an 8-month stint in like a rehab ER, like a medical facility.
Excuse me, he's going to use this in like his next.
That's fine. And I don't mean a rehab facility like for drugs. I mean like he got into a really bad accident and he was in rehab, learning how to walk again for like 6 months. That's what Pete Davidson looks like.
Seattle Cocktail Club just said, I once called Kanye Cayenne by accident, and he was not at all amused.
Yeah, he's not going to like that one. But to get back on track here with the Bad Valentine, Kanye and Anthony. So Kanye West made news yesterday by sending a pickup truck full of roses with a message on the back, with a message on the side, and a whole message on his Instagram about how he's always going to fight for his family, so on and so forth. Did you not see this?
Yeah, but what did the truck say?
You're going to have to look that up. I forgot. WorldStar probably posted it.
No, Morgan Talks, who's on the air in Ohio, did. That's not her. That's a copycat.
No, you go back to Morgan. It was up there.
That's not her.
Nope,
That's not the page. Oh, got it. Morgan P. Talks. It said, my vision is crystal clear, and he spelt crystal and clear with K's.
Very Kardashian thing to do, right?
And it was outside of her house.
So
stalker.
So he sends that, clearly making a statement, knowing that she's dating another guy, but basically saying like, I'm still here. You can't forget about me.
I don't even think she was home.
That statement, though, is just as much to Kim Kardashian as it is to Pete Davidson. Like, you're not going to get rid of me that quickly.
Well, apparently Pete texted him.
Pete did?
Not yesterday.
Skeet did?
Listen, there's so much. Like, I'm telling you right now, this is like, Kanye posted a screenshot of the text, and then Kanye keeps saying that Pete Davidson is walking around his kids in his Calvin Klein underwear. Where did all Kanye's posts go?
Oh, yeah, he deleted a bunch of stuff. Anyway, not important. Because I want to get to the point of this story where Kanye and I actually are very similar.
Oh, please don't tell me that.
So, you can feel however you want to feel about what Kanye West did with the truck of roses, right?
I didn't get it.
If this was a rom-com, I'm telling you, all of you women would be out there like, oh my God, he's still fighting for his love
No, it's
because
not.
he knows.
No, we would be like, this guy's a stalker.
No.
You dumped his ass and you have a new boyfriend who you love and makes you happy or whatever. And this guy is being toxic, yelling at other women like Billie Eilish. We know his track record with Taylor Swift. He's crazy.
Now, in the real world, yes. In the rom-com world, he would be like the hero, right? Think about Wedding Crashers. Wedding Crashers, Owen Wilson runs into the wedding and is like, no, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Don't marry Bradley Cooper. That's the whole story. And everyone's like, oh my God, they're in love. That's a weird thing to do.
Okay, but
So, going back, Kanye West sends a whole truckload of flowers to Kim Kardashian, spells crystal clear with 2 Ks, all that good stuff. Here is where Kanye and I have done something very similar.
wait, you did this stalker stuff?
So, I was going through a breakup. Now, keep in mind.
Hold on.
What?
Are you about to tell me you showed up with roses to
I didn't
someone
show
and
up-
I didn't even get a Valentine's Day
I didn't
flower?
show up with roses, no. And this is where I will say, undoubtedly, not only was the message to Kim Kardashian, but it was also to let people know that he is not done and he is still around.
Okay.
So I was going through a breakup, and now it was a messy breakup. It went on for entirely too long.
Longer than the relationship, possibly?
No, not longer than a relationship. And both of us were in the wrong at different times. Like, neither of us handled it properly. So that aside, at this point of the relationship, we were still texting back and forth and every now and then seeing one another. But she also started dating a guy who I think worked alongside her or somehow was involved. Like, I don't know if he was a delivery guy where she was working. He somehow was at her office often. So on Valentine's Day, I sent
You're a
flowers. I sent food or flowers. I forgot what it was to the office. But here's what I did. I sent it from a secret admirer just to send it there and stir the pot a little bit. And then when she texted me like, is this you? I said, yes. And I was like, I just didn't want to put my name on it, blah, blah, blah. But I absolutely did a very Kanye thing. Now, this is almost 10 years ago. But yeah, I did that.
Part of me is actually not surprised because you're the pettiest person I know.
Oh, yeah.
Petty.
Oh, absolutely.
And Ricky is petty. You're pettier.
Why? What did Ricky do?
I'm just saying. I just know that.
Why did you throw Ricky under the bus? She didn't even say anything.
It's true, though. And she's hysterical everywhere. Now I know it. I'm also petty. You, Anthony, are the pettiest person I know.
And the reason I say what Kanye West did yesterday with sending the truckload of roses to Kim Kardashian, part of it, I'm sure, was about Kim. He might still love her. I know some people think he's just trying to control the narrative. But he might actually, we don't know. He might actually be still heartbroken and want to get back. She's the mother of his children, all of that stuff. Yes. I get it. And in that relationship, yeah, I still had feelings for her and everything. But the other part of it was I was also just kind of like making sure that my scent was in the room. Like kind of like a dog goes in like, or a cat like rubs themselves against everything to make sure that everyone knows they're there. I was kind of doing that.
Okay.
And now looking back at it, I know how crazy it was.
So I was going to say, like, you were how old? 25?
26, something like that.
And Anthony, like, back in the day was like a hothead douchebag. Like, you definitely had toxic traits. You were obsessive, I'd say, to an extent.
I guess, yeah.
Well, I guess
I don't know. I guess
not obsessive, like stalker obsessive.
Yeah.
But how do I explain it?
I was an angry elf.
You were like, I don't want to give you attention, but I don't want anyone else to give you attention also.
And here's where there is a little bit of a disconnect, and this is where that whole end of the relationship was messy. It was like both of us would tell the other one that we had feelings for one another, blah, 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 but we also would say things that weren't so nice and date other people. So it was a whole messy situation. But that is something that I did. So I saw what Kanye did yesterday. And I was just like, man, Kanye is crazy. And I was like, oh, man, so are you, Anthony.
Yeah, but Kanye is an adult.
That's true. Kanye's like
more adult.
How old is Kanye?
And on top of that,
Kanye's definitely in his
got
mid-40s.
so much money. You didn't have any money and you were sending flowers.
Yeah, I had nothing to distract myself with. Other than the random women that I would meet in New York and Hoboken.
Wait,
What?
Anthony said that in an old My Day Friday. The chase is what was worth it, not the catch, Karina said. But you never told that
No, I didn't tell that story. But I have said in a lot of situations, the chase is what keeps guys going.
He is 44
years old, yeah. You're a 44-year-old grown-ass billionaire. Like, stop acting like the 26-year-old version of me, my broke ass.
Cord said, I had an ex send me lilies once. My mother said they were lilies tainted with desperation, and it has always stuck with me. Kanye and Anthony sending roses of desperation.
Yeah? I guess it was. It was more rose. I don't know if it was.
It was on Valentine's Day.
I guess it was roses of desperation, but it was also like roses of anger. I don't know.
What is it called? Marking your territory.
Kind of, yeah. I don't want to say, I realized I said marking my territory, but that also sounds like I'm peeing on things.
Okay, we know what you mean.
I don't want.
So what? It was Valentine's Day. Did she know why you did this?
I mean, I think so, yeah.
So
what do you mean? What do you mean did she know
know
why?
You did it because you wanted to be like, did she think she got roses because you actually cared? And
both. She knew both. Because it was both. It wasn't purely like spite. It was both feelings, right? Because I still had feelings for her and everything. She still had feelings for me. And then the spitefulness as well. I would say it was close to 50-50. Spite probably won out 52-48.
Okay. Made by Erica has a great question.
What is it?
So what changed and when did Anthony grow up?
I don't know. I mean, age.
I think moving here helped you.
Moving here definitely helped. I think just growing in general, living life. And I know that sounds so like kind of cliche, but sometimes you just have to go through the crappier part of your life to learn from it. I would say, I'm going to say reading more, but that sounds like I read like love advice books. I think just learning more about emotions, learning more about reactions to certain emotions.
You never used to like, you were very much like, I don't have emotions.
Yeah.
But you did. You just.
I bottled them all up or just ignored all of them. So yeah, I think just learning overall, Ricky said overall knowledge. So whether that was life experience, whether that was reading, whether that was having conversations with people.
Meeting different people makes such a difference.
All of it.
So what essentially then ended that relationship? Or is it still going on?
No, it's not. I don't really know. I think one of the last like arguments that we had was very early on when I moved here. And she sent me like, I don't know, she sent me something. And I knew that she was also dating someone at the same time. And I was like, this is stupid. What is going on? And I sent anything that she sent me, I ended up sending back to her.
You mean like gifts?
Gifts, yeah. And I just sent everything back in a box.
She sent you a gift for moving here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was very sweet. Like,
Did she send it when you moved into this house?
No. No, it was a very sweet gift. Like, she's a good person. Yeah. It just, the relationship was shit towards the end.
This is the same person you packaged up all the things she ever.
That's how this ended. Is I packaged up everything that I had from her and things that she had sent me.
Ever.
And just sent it back.
In their entire relationship.
Anything that I had left over.
Including a pair of sneakers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those sneakers were dope too. They're good sneakers. Whatever.
That is that right there.
And
we talked about this on our show.
spoke.
We talked about this when our friend Leslie was auditioning for our show, and Leslie was like, Anthony, I don't like you right now.
Yep. But you know what? It needed to end at some point for both of our mental health.
We could have just burnt it all.
Yeah, I guess.
But that sent a message. She probably burnt it all.
And she's more than welcome to.
We should get her on here and ask her about it.
But yeah, I sent it all back and just said, and I didn't even, there was no note. I don't believe there was a note, at least. No, there wasn't a note. There was just a box of things.
You should have wrote like a note with your left hand, like,
no.
Done.
And that was it. And it ended.
Yeah, see, when I say Anthony is petty, there you go.
Yeah. And my pettiness has matured a little bit too. Like I'm not as petty, but it's matured.
still there.
No. It is matured. And I say this because I now know that I don't always have to be petty, but when I am going to be petty, it's going to be even better. So it has really matured. It's like a fine aged pettiness. You know?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get me to be petty about everything anymore, but when I want to be petty, it's going to be a class act level of petty. So
see, you're petty. I'm vindictive, I think. Like our bad traits that'll come out.
What else do we have
Mama
here?
Sarah said, I want to see what she looks like. I'm telling you, we should get her on the show.
No, that's not going to happen.
She's very pretty. I will tell you that.
I've done good for myself overall. I think I'm still doing pretty good.
Despite all the character flaws? Yeah.
I exactly. Despite my best efforts, I've done pretty well for myself. Let's see. Karina in New York, from New York said, I don't think that's petty. I think that's Anthony's closure of that relationship. She had a boyfriend, was keeping him on the side. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Ricky said, I live for the petty. Just check my bio on Instagram.
What is her bio on Instagram?
It's a review that someone left on her podcast.
That's funny.
Ricky's that friend we all have and don't want or something.
Let's see. Bianca, I think that's what that says an ex-boyfriend did that to me. He sent me a box full of things that were at his house and a letter breaking up with me. So now, keep in mind, we were broken up, and this was like the very, very tail end of like, we just need to stop texting one another. Nothing about this is good.
Right.
Take it back. It wasn't the actual breakup.
So Ricky's bio is known as that one friend we all have and can't stand, according to the negative reviews on my podcast.
Yeah, I guess so. That's pretty accurate. No, I can stand Ricky. We hung out with her for 3 weeks straight, basically, when she was on the road trip with us, and now we'll be with her to end this month and kick off March. Like, what? 9 out of like 10 days.
March comes in like a lion, out like a lamb. That's true. Ricky's that lion.
How old are you?
And Ricky's that lion going in.
We do have to get out of here because we do have to go.
I gotta steam your clothes.
We have to go be actors and models.
What do you have to do to clear your throat? Like, what is it? La, 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 la. What's that?
What? What was that?
Maybe we'll take some behind the scenes, some BT.
You're not singing. You're just speaking. All right. It is time for us to get out of here. Thank you so much to everyone who hung out with us today. It looks like we've had about 200 people here the whole time.
Shut up.
Pretty awesome. So
because I posted it on Instagram today.
For hanging with us. We will be back on Thursday. And here's what I want to do. We haven't done this in a while. If you're here with us right now with the other 199 people, and if you check this out on YouTube before Thursday's show, email us. It's hello@carlamarieandanthony.com.
Why?
Ask us any question.
Oh, dear God.
Any question you want us to answer.
Wait. Stop. Can we do this in Discord? Because we pause. We're going to go behind the scenes for a second. We actually run our business through our email. And when you do this all the time, it gets flooded. And then we actually drop the ball on things
Who's
Paul?
Who's Paul?
Somebody that was probably trying to pay us. So listen, you big jerk. We have a Discord for a reason. So go to Discord and ask questions. I'm going to right now
here's why I wanted it to
ask us any question channel on Discord.
No,
Jesus
don't do that yet.
Christ.
So I'm going to explain something, Carla Marie.
This man.
Here's why I wanted it to be through email, because we do have a listeners folder in our emails.
Yeah,
so we just
you
have
put
to
them there
move
and
them
then
over.
I don't see them.
That's your fault. Here's why I want to do it. If you had a question about something you're going through, you could email us and say like, hey, don't use my name, but
if you need
this is something I'm going through. So, and a lot of people don't have Discord. We have more people watching this show right now than we have in total in Discord.
Okay.
So, you can, if you would like to, go to Discord. The link is in there. If it's expired, you can DM us or email us. It's hello@carlamarieandanthony.com. That's our email address.
Dear God. Okay.
You have to put the Discord link in there.
What should I call it? I called it topics. I'm going to put it as topics.
Okay.
And you could ask questions or
pitch topics. Okay.
Like if you saw the Kanye thing, you could be like, what do you guys think about this?
All right.
Wait, I got to put the invite link.
Oh, yeah.
We got to go.
I was trying to go, and then you tried to fight me.
No, you.
I was wrapping up, and you were like, "Meh." Got the fangs out today.
Because you're trying to make my life a living hell.
I'm not.
It doesn't say we're live.
Well, we are. So
Are you sure?
Yes. It says live. We've been live for 1 hour and 4 minutes and 42 seconds.
Here we are.
So now we're just going to wait here.
Okay.
Thank you to everyone wishing us good luck today. Appreciate that.
Yeah, or you can email us if you really, really want. But Jesus H.
All right. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thank you for getting us through Hype Train Level 5 again. Hopefully, we will do that again and keep the streak going on Thursday.
I look like Misha Barton in Sixth Sense.
And now it is time to go. You look great.
I look great.